What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 189 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we've got a podcast for every single tiger currently in Thailand's Western Forest Complex.
That's actually a really cool number. I mean, really cool factoid.
It took me forever to find something amusing for the number 189, not gonna lie. Officially, the number of tigers in Thailand's Western Forest Complex are between 189 and 223. They can't entirely tell, because tigers be tigers. The good news about this is that is officially 40 more than the low estimate in 2007.
Ah, yes, that's additional tigers. Pretty cool.
It is. And, I didn't even know Thailand had tigers. Truth be told, whenever someone says tiger, my brain defaults to India.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress. I'm your host as always, Devon. Joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Now, we are continuing our spooky adventures this month, aren't we? We are doing more Scooby-Doo. Today we are doing Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Rick, do you have some fun information about the time for me?
Yeah, it was the 14th of September 1988.
It was
Sweet Child of Mine.
13th of November 1988.
13th of November, my bad, oh boy.
I think you got the date for the other movie, which was The Ghoul School.
I did.
That's fine. What happened in September of that year? Fuck it.
September. That was Sweet Child of Mine was new, and the Olympics started at the time in Seoul. But let's have a look. November.
Oh, we're consummate professionals on this show.
George H.W. Bush? No, that's not fun. The first computer worm in distributed via the internet.
As in a virus?
Yeah, a virus that was self-propagating.
I see. Well, I don't know. You might have meant worms like the video game.
but like the definition of a computer worm is a virus that is self-propagating and will distribute itself via the internet.
Okay, so my favourite thing is with computer worms specifically is how every single cartoon ever has depicted them as a literal worm in the computer screen, just moving along the screen and eating icons.
Yeah, there's that and bookworms.
Oh shit!
Where it's a literal bookworm with glasses, and half the time they're also a glowworm, and they use the glow to read.
Yeah, there is that. You just reminded me there was a game that my mum used to absolutely adore on the... I guess it was a mobile game, but they also released a version for the Nintendo DS because, fuck it, old people are weird. It was just called Bookworm, and that was the mascot, a glowworm with glasses, and it had the little fucking... You know that thing graduates wear?
Yeah, the multiboard.
Yeah, it was silly. And it was just a word puzzle game. I couldn't even tell you the exact mechanics because there's a million games like it now, all with a slightly different gimmick.
Dude, I think I had one of those that was a glow-in-the-dark toy.
What, the fucking glowworm?
Yeah, like with a multiboard and everything. It was literally a glow-in-the-dark plastic toy. It was hollow, and it used to really annoy me that his tail was on one side and he wasn't symmetrical, because everything else was symmetrical.
Unless Rick had early signs of autism.
Yeah, there was a little hole up his arse. Well, no, it wasn't even his arse, it was just the bottom where they hollowed it out and had to, use less plastic to make it cheaper. Oh boy, core memory. The other thing that happened in November of 1988 was the transatlantic telephone cable was laid.
Oh, cool. So, that's the thing that's constantly getting eaten by sharks.
Yeah.
That thing is a really impressive piece of technology. I don't know if you've ever seen them laying it, but it actually blew my mind the first time I saw it. Because obviously I wasn't alive at that time. I saw it way after the fact on a really compressed video on YouTube, back when YouTube was fun. And it was amazing to see. There isn't a lot of footage of it, unless you're looking at other things they've done. But the thing that terrifies me is the way they maintain those things.
Oh, yeah.
People have to go down there. I don't know if that's fucking terrifying, guys.
It is. Like, literally, it's not as low as the ocean goes. It's just as low as the ocean goes right there.
Yeah, but I have to imagine with how low the ocean goes there, they need those habitation fucking pods, and I'd never, ever want to be in one of those.
Oh, yeah. Like, do they use the James Cameron ball mech thing?
No, that's a submersible. That's not a habitation pod.
Okay.
No, habitation pod. You've got deep sea divers have to live at that depth, so they don't, decompress every 5 minutes. I believe it's impossible to get used to that amount of pressure and that depth in a reasonable time. So they have to live down there for I don't know how long, but yeah. You'll have to talk to someone you'll have to talk to someone way more interested in the topic than I am to get a proper feel. But I know enough to be terrified of it.
Sure. But yes.
Okay,
that's my little factoid for that.
So you want some information for Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf?
Yeah, let's go.
Right, so the correct date, as we mentioned, is it was first aired on November 13th, 1988. There's no surprises as far as cast goes, although when looking at the cast list, Jim Cummings is going to make an appearance for about 7 different voices, so keep an ear out.
If it's not one of the main cast, it's Jim Cummings.
But yes, this movie was part of the Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10. Now, if you don't know what that is, I don't blame you. It's a series of 10 animated movies made for their programming block, the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. This ran on Sundays from 1985 to 1994 on multiple stations that, guess what, don't fucking exist no more because Warner Brothers bought them all.
That's weird because I thought that Hanna-Barbera was a Cartoon Network thing.
It might have been exclusively Cartoon Network in the UK, but in the States it was its own thing, and it was basically a bunch of syndicated networks would air this on their networks. A bunch of independent networks were owned by bigger umbrella corps. Because remember, this is the 80s. This is back in the day where you didn't really have global broadcasts.
Yeah. So a little bit like how in the UK ITV had its own like little local versions of itself that would split off.
Yeah, I mean we still have that now, except it's reduced to BBC Scotland, and BBC Wales, and there might be a BBC Northern Ireland, but I feel like that's disrespectful to the Irish.
Yeah, and they also used to have because the Yorkshire one was just YTV, and they used to have the TNTs for up in the northeast and all that. But oh well.
Yeah, fair enough. Like again, this would have been before my time, so this is entirely you spouting stuff.
Yeah, and I'll remember it because like certain programs were made by certain parts of the UK. So it would be like, oh yeah, watch something made by TNTs. You're watching Tugs.
But yeah, this Superstar 10, I won't list all movies involved because it's mostly Yogi Bear and the Jetsons and Flintstones and whatnot. I think it included the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, but anyway. There are 2 other Scooby-Doo movies in this Superstar 10. One of them is called Scooby-Doo and the Boo Brothers, released a year prior to this, which I've never seen. And the other one is Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, which was released a month prior, and which we've already reviewed for the channel. It's my personal favourite of the 3, and you should watch it.
Yeah. So this is like the sequel to the Ghoul School, like you said, isn't it? Yeah.
They're all. None of them are connected to one another.
Oh, okay.
They're all standalone movies, but this one came out after Ghoul School.
Sure.
Sod's Law, this film actually got released this year on Blu-ray, apparently with an attempt at a HD remaster. If you watch it on the Blu-ray, it starts with this message, which I'm going to read verbatim. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf was one of 2 of the Superstar 10 telefilms Hanna-Barbera produced using an early form of digital ink and paint, and was output to a final 1-inch videotape master with no film protection of any kind. This presentation has been up-converted from its original analog standard definition master to digital high def, with every effort made to improve the visual quality of the program. So yeah, that's what it will say if you're watching the Blu-ray version.
Cool beans.
It is pretty cool. For the record, we're not watching the Blu-ray version, we're watching an old school version via a redacted means so it doesn't get taken down.
Yeah, we're watching an old recording.
Yeah. Completely by accident, Rick, this is actually the last appearance of Scrappy-Doo. Okay.
I was not aware of that, but also that's an interesting factoid.
Yeah, so accidentally we've covered the introduction of Scrappy-Doo and the downfall of Scrappy-Doo. The only other time Scrappy-Doo will appear in Scooby-Doo television/movies will be in 2002 for the live-action movie.
Yeah, fair enough. Sweet.
It's also the last time that Fred, Daphne, and Velma don't appear in a Scooby-Doo project.
Okay. Yeah, because the other one was like mono Shaggy and Scooby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were just like being brought on as tutors.
Again, my favourite movie of the 3. I don't know, maybe Boo Brothers is really good. I've never seen it. I'll have to go out my way. Maybe we'll do it next Halloween, who knows?
Maybe so.
But yeah, for just some general information on November 1988, in music, both Cliff Richard and Gloria Estefan were topping the charts with their their albums. And November 2018. Yeah, cool. November 1988 was a great movie month. It was the month where Disney gave us Oliver and Company, which is a banger of a cartoon movie.
Okay, yeah, I've never actually seen it, but I did see it advertised at the beginning of The Lion King on VHS.
Yeah, I believe I also saw that. It took like a snippet from a song, and, you know, they got Billy Joel to do a lot of the singing. Or I believe Billy Joel does the singing voice for the Artful Dodger in that, so the music's good.
Yeah, this is one of those things, though, like, Disney have never been cheap with their releases. So if you wanted a VHS from Disney, you had to basically wait until that VHS was in rotation and then pay full price, because you couldn't get any of them cheap.
Yeah, although there was a period during HMV's heyday where they'd sell you free for £25, which saves you a whole fiver.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, on the movie front, we also have one of the best movies of all time that everyone should watch, being They Live, a live-action movie starring Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Okay.
If you've never watched They Live, I highly recommend it. It's a fun movie. It's got a weirdly poignant message, given it was released in 1988 and is technically an action movie, but there is a message there, and I think more people should take it on.
Okay.
And last but not least, it was also the month where the first ever Land Before Time movie got released.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ducky.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ducky.
Okay, so I think that's a pretty good rundown on what we're doing today, but before we actually get to the bulk of the reaction/review itself, those of you familiar with the podcast probably already know that Rick and I like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the Wild Wide Universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I am now double vaccinated for this year.
I'm
and
not
my
vaccinated.
arms hurt like hell.
Yeah, it would do. I've not been vaccinated at all for like 3 years, because apparently I don't fall in the bracket for needing one.
Yeah, I qualify for free prescriptions, and that's basically the same criteria as qualifies for the vaccine.
Okay, because I would love to have a COVID vaccine. I really would. I don't like injections, but I want to protect the world at whole, including myself. However, it's one of those where if I'm not in the bracket to be eligible for one, that would be me effectively taking one away from someone who does need it.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks.
Yeah, right. I had to book it because I don't immediately look like I'm over 65. But other than that, yeah, it was easy enough to go. The other thing I've done is I've bought Metaphor Refantasio. This is the not Persona in the fantasy OC world. The first time Atlas has made a new OC thing like this in quite some time. And I spent all yesterday downloading it. I'm going to be playing it later today.
Oh, fair enough. I can't wait to hear your opinions, because it's had mostly positive reviews, but I think we mentioned this before because people have been sharing articles about it, comparing it to Persona, and it's one of the annoying things about Atlas games in general is game journalists always do the easy route of, let's just compare it to Persona.
Yeah. So they'll compare it to Persona, they compare it to like Etrian Odyssey. I ended up not getting the anniversary edition because it's just costumes, and I believe similar to Persona 5, it overrides the battle music with the battle music from whatever costume you're wearing.
I do like that as an idea in general. The problem is I really like the samurai outfits from SMT4. However, the battle music from SMT4 is great in SMT4. It really fits the aesthetic. It sounds like ass in any other fucking context.
Yeah, so you make everyone else look like an SMT4 samurai, and you have your main character look like a dancing all night character, so you get the Persona 4 remixes. In fact, actually, no, I did the Persona 5 dancing one, so I got the Persona 5 music, but remixed.
Oh, fair enough, man.
That was when I was playing Persona 5 Royal, anyway.
But yeah, October's just generally a good month for video games, at least big hit releases. I know you're not much of a fan of the franchise, but we've got the Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 remake coming out this month as well, not to mention Veilguard.
Yeah, Veilguard at the end of the month. Basically, I'm on a timer. I have 2 weeks to play this game until Veilguard comes out. It was also a choice of that or Sparking Zero. or using all of my money and having all three. But I've skipped Sparking Zero for now because Dragon Ball games are fun, they are silly, and they basically are experienced best either on your own or by watching someone do a full playthrough, like Team 4 Star or whatever, and they're not going to stay full price for long.
Dragon Ball games drop in price every other fucking week. I will say the only thing I've noticed from this newest Dragon Ball game, because I don't really pick up Dragon Ball games anyway because they're not my cup of tea, but I've noticed they've done the Mortal Kombat thing, and more fighting games are doing this, and it's great because it's one of the more fun parts of having just casual encounters, and that is pre-battle dialogue.
Yeah, and some of it is uniquely matched up as well. It's cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. In Mortal Kombat, every single combatant gets 4 different variations minimum of each encounter. So you got 4 different types of dialogue. It's all unique.
Yeah, and you get some unique ones for specific matchups.
Yeah, in Mortal Kombat, every matchup gets its own dialogue.
Sure, okay.
That's the point I'm making.
Fair enough, yeah. The ones that I've seen in Sparking Zero, a lot of them seem to be kind of generic.
Oh, okay.
Unless you've got a specific matchup, because there's so many freaking characters.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people reacting to Bardock. I can't remember who it is, but a character just goes, "You look a lot like Goku," and Bardock's like, "Who the fuck is Goku?" Yeah.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah, I've seen that. But yeah, things I've seen out in the world though. Not all Typhlosions.
Oh yeah,
was a hashtag that was that was being spread earlier this week. This is part of the Nintendo Terror leak that's mostly Game Freak. What's really scummy about this is that the people that did the leak immediately started leaking and doxing the staff of Game Freak, and they feel that is okay, but telling us what the starters are going to be in the next game is not, even though they apparently have a source code version of what's completed so far. We're able to compile it and complete maybe 50% of the game.
That screams disgruntled employee.
Oh yeah.
Just like I don't want to spoil the hard work of the co-workers I like working on the new thing, but I do want to make lives miserable for like these 4 people because I hate them.
Yeah. Jeff took my lunch, so here's where he lives.
Okay. But to be fair, if some fucker's taking your lunch, I kind of get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah. If some fucker's taking your lunch and keeps taking your lunch, maybe it's time to make your lunch something only you like.
It's Dr. Pepper all over again.
Yeah. So some things that have come out other than like source code for games are there's a lot of beta things that have been cut. There's a really cute looking water starter for Gen 3 that's like a rabbit with a flotation tube around its belly that appears to be its tail.
Yeah, you showed me these the cut Pokemon more or less. It was just a big old sprite sheet, and you were like, "Oh, I'm so glad this didn't make it, because otherwise I would never have known the beauty of Blaziken." And I'm just looking at it going, "Yeah, but that bunny just looks like Max."
Like that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it is, because it's Max from Sam and Max, and he's a freak.
Oh, he's an arsehole, yeah. But speaking of freak, there's a reason they're called Game Freak. And that's bringing it right back around to not all Typhlosions, because apparently Typhlosion would get with human women and mate with them until they die.
Yeah, but again, it's one of the things that people aren't dwelling on is the fact that this is stuff that got cut.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
It got cut for a reason. And apparently the main reason that they wrote it out like that was because they were basically just copy-pasting old mythology for things. Yeah, like Japanese mythology. Like the reason that Typhlosion is kind of a badger is to make him a little bit Tanuki-ish. So like you got your whole like trickster Tanuki thing going on. And yeah, so and there's other things as well, like apparently Lapras is a freak.
Well, that one doesn't surprise me. A lot of people like Lapras. But like this isn't exactly unique. Like they've implied Pokemon-human relationships in a lot of games, just in a lot more of a wholesome manner. Yeah,
like they even have it in a library book in Gen 4, and I think Frostlass is based around that as well. Like that she'll wait for a human to leech warmth from, but if there's one that she really likes, then she'll spend the rest of her life with them. Hint, hint.
Yeah. Again, like A lot of people are being weird about this, but that's how people be. It's just, you really learn who the prudes are when this sort of thing happens. Because again, this shit wasn't in the game, so it doesn't matter. It's stuff where they read it and they went, this is a kid's game, we should probably tone it down.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much about it from that. And the last thing that I've got is cheating has been alleged after King Conker, the world men's conker champion, was found with a steel chestnut.
You're going to have to elaborate. Where was this steel chestnut found?
It was found in his pocket. And what he's actually accused of, because he has vehemently denied using the steel chestnut for playing conkers with, is for marking the strings of the blind bag of duelist conkers that he helped to prepare.
No. You see, this is where the competition's already flawed. You shouldn't have someone who's actively competing do the prep work.
Yeah, I think the idea was that because he is already the world champion, and I think he's like 78 years old, that he was kind of above suspicion, but apparently he was marking the strings so he could pull out either ones that he knew were good or ones that he knew he hadn't already tampered with.
But it's the classic blunder of everyone in these competitions. They're like, this person's so good, they're the top of their game. They have no need to cheat, so we don't need to suspect them. And then they can get away with cheating because they want to stay at the best and to be the best. I'm not saying everybody does this. I'm just saying you don't know what competitive people can be like.
Yeah, look at Mr. Satan.
I don't think
a charlatan trying to stay on top of his game and will bribe anyone to to throw a match to let him stay there.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fair comparison. That's a fucking cartoon. There's so many real life examples you can point to.
Oh yeah, and Mr. Satan is a lot more lovable and actually saved the universe.
Yeah, by being Hulk Hogan, which I'm sure Hulk Hogan, the real Hulk Hogan, wishes he could be.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a funny story to bring up.
Like, fuck me. What's the prize money like in conkers?
I don't think it's that much even. I think it's just like prestige, because like, who's doing conkers in the year of our Lord 2024?
Listen, if the prize money was high enough, I'd fucking play conkers.
Yeah.
And I can't play conkers. I'm shit at it.
Yeah.
But it's a very low effort, low stakes sort of game, you know?
Yeah, you bash your opponent's basher with your basher until one of the bashers gets bashed.
Man, you bringing it up, I remember a comic strip from the Bash Street Kids where they tricked the teacher by finding a bunch of conkers, and they went, we should just have a conkers tournament, and the teacher was like, actually, this could teach us math, but in reality he just wanted to referee a bunch of conker fights, and the smart kid ended up winning by accident because he just had a really good conker by luck, because of course he's the fucking class tough, and everyone would whack his conker, and their conker they're whacking with would just crack. Cubert wouldn't even need to fucking swing his conker, and then it ended with Danny eventually won by trickery. He got Fatty to eat his conker.
Yeah.
And he got Smithy to hit himself in the head with his conker, so of course the conker broke.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh man.
Bash Street Kids was fun, that's all I'm saying.
Speaking of eating conkers, there was a children's book when I was growing up called Conker, and I thought it was going to be about kids playing conkers, but mostly it was about this dog at a junkyard that was like old and scabby and lived at the junkyard, and the person at the junkyard died, and this dog was going to go completely homeless, and the family adopted the dog, and the dog ate the guy's conker after he'd won a tournament with it, and so they ended up calling the dog Conker.
That's a beautiful story, Rick. Thanks for sharing.
Yes.
It's better than fucking Carl Pilkington's dog story that he got from his mum. Look that up on the YouTube, so I'm not going to retell it because I can't do it justice.
Little monkey fella. But yeah, I think that's about it from me. How about you? How have you been? What have you seen? And what have you done?
Well, first things first, you may have already heard it. I can't help it, guys. I'm going to be coughing a lot today. I just got a cough and it just won't go away.
Yeah. It is coughing season.
But yes, I went and watched Transformers 1. I threatened to last week and I actually did it.
Yeah, a mutual friend of ours has told me in between then and now that he thinks it's the best movie he's seen this year.
Well, it's not the best movie I've seen this year because there's been a couple. But,
Deadpool 3, yeah.
It's definitely the best animated movie I've seen this year.
Sure.
It
sure,
is
sure.
beautifully animated. If anyone has a criticism about the animation, I don't think they saw this film.
Yeah. I believe the things that were said about it from people that like had been to see it early on was the worst thing about this movie is the trailer.
The trailer is so weird in retrospect. I saw one trailer before this movie, and it is not what we got.
No. Like, the trailer makes it look bad.
To be fair to the trailer, part of the reason why me and my buddy went to see it is it looks awful. We've got to watch this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, fuck, it's actually good. What is wrong with the guys making trailers?
Yeah. I guess it might be a double bluff, and you were like the only people that the trailer worked on.
But you got to understand, this movie is explicitly a kids' movie.
Yeah.
And the theatre was filled with kids.
Yeah.
It got its target. It's one of those where, as long as it's a PG and the parents can see that it's not going to be too fucked up, parents will be like, oh, we'll keep the kid quiet for 2 hours, you know? I think that's what they were banking on with the trailers. But, the only criticism I have is there was a very early thing with, he's not called Optimus, but he's Optimus.
Orion Pax, I think his name is.
Yeah, Orion Pax, and Megatron is called DB16 or something, and, like, who cares? It's Megatron and Optimus Prime. I didn't take note of any of the fake names, because it's like, at the end of the movie, that's Megatron and that's Optimus Prime. They make that very clear.
Yes.
But the beginning of the movie, near the beginning, you've got this thing where Optimus Prime is going like, there must be more to life. Skip stone across lake. It's so fucking generic crap. I didn't like it at the beginning. And then it very quickly amped up.
Yeah, good shit.
After about 25 minutes, I was like getting into it, but the beginning intro plot was so basic bitch that I've seen 100 times before that I was kind of depressed. But yeah, it's just a good movie. You've got Starscream near the end. He's voiced by Steve Buscemi, and he fucking nails it.
Okay, yeah.
I knew I recognised Optimus. I'll tell you what, Chris Hemsworth was really good as Optimus.
Sure.
I didn't recognise it was Chris Hemsworth until he was doing hero shit. Then it sounded like Chris Hemsworth.
Sure, I get you, because, when he's doing the hero shit, he can just, like, sound like Thor.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, there's nothing bad with having a celebrity voice classic characters. Just don't do your fucking voice, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like, I'm just saying, like, how can you have two vastly similar actors voicing such iconic characters and doing vastly different jobs with both? Chris Hemsworth knew the job description. He did it well. Every voice actor in this fucking film nailed it.
Sweet.
So voice acting was perfect. Animation was fucking crisp. It looked gorgeous. The plot was a bit shit to start with, but it very quickly picked up. And I blame that on me being a 32-year-old man.
Sure.
If you're a kid, this is probably your first time dealing with this type of story.
Yeah, like a coming-of-age story that ramps up into action.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's coming of age. It's just such a generic thing of they keep beating us down and what we should rise up above it. It's been done 100 times. It's a good message, don't get me wrong. It's just they did it so generically to begin with. And
okay.
I won't spoil any of the details of the film. I will just say go watch it. It's a great movie. This movie has one of the most brutal murder scenes I've ever seen in a kid's film, but they're allowed to do that because they're robots.
Yeah, Samurai Jack logic.
Megatron picks up a character, holds him above his head, and tears him in half.
Yep. The good old pull apart special.
But there's no blood, just a bunch of circuits scattering everywhere, so it's okay for a PG.
Yep, just circuits and sparks. And oil.
And I'm going to mention another thing as well, is they do a really good job of Optimus Prime is right.
Okay.
Like, he is the de facto good guy. He says, we should do this. We should rise above what this person did. And he's correct. However, they also do a really good job of Megatron's like, I'm going to murder this bastard. And I'm also thinking, Megatron is correct. This person has to die.
Yeah. Megatron's motivation is valid in this situation.
Yeah, the only problem is he has no plan after killing the person, and that's the problem.
Sure.
But it's so good. They even do the fucking... You know, someone who's like, I'm not kneeling in front of this prick?
Yeah.
They even do that quite well. It's a generic moment, but they did it well.
Right, okay.
But yeah, honestly, I want you to watch this movie so we can talk about it in depth.
Good shit.
And there's a post-credit scene, actually,
Okay.
an actual post-credit scene after the big old movie's crawl, the crawl of all the characters, and it's like, yeah, cool, we're getting more of this.
Cool. Whether it be another movie or a Netflix series or whatever.
It won't be a Netflix series, I don't think. Not after what. I won't go into that. But it does feel like it's angling more for a TV show than a sequel movie.
Sure, I feel it.
And the old Hasbro method of selling toys worked, because after we went out of this movie, my friend said, I kind of want to buy a Transformer, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Just to have on the shelf.
The other thing I did this week is I played my first few games of Disney Lorcana.
Yeah. So, what are your archetypes?
Well, I've got a Emerald Steel deck because I'm just playing a deck out the box, as is the person I was playing, because we're learning the game.
Sure.
It's a very intuitive game. It's not complex. I'm sure it has the possibility of being complex, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm aware of the basics of you can only have 2 colors, and you can choose to make your guys into your mana base or play them with your mana base.
Yeah, so every single card in the game has a cost to summon. That's the ink cost. If they have a certain symbol around the ink cost, that card can be used as ink instead of as a playable card. There are plenty of cards in the game that you can't use as ink.
Right, okay.
But the bulk of cards are inkable, and the rule is you can play 1 ink per turn. It's no different than Magic with the land rule. You have to show your opponent what card you're turning into ink, and then you place it face down in your inkwell.
Sure.
And
I think you also described to me that you can only you attack cards, as in you attack characters, and you can only attack one that's already exerted.
So when you play a card, it's ready, and you can't do anything with that card for the turn it's summoned because the ink is still drying. That's how it's described in the rules. It's really adorable. And when you exert a card, you're tapping it. You turn it sideways.
Sure.
You can exert a card to do. Okay, there are other effects that let you do other things, but the main thing is the 2 things you can do are you can send your card on a quest, or you can challenge with your card. If you're questing, you get the card's lore value. The way you win the game is by accumulating 20 lore. Players don't have life points. You just acquire lore. Challenging is you challenge an opponent and they fight.
Okay.
The colours don't really seem to do much at a glance. It seems to be just a way of limiting your deck, so you can't just have every powerful card ever in your deck.
Yeah.
I've seen people briefly outline that 3 of the colours are offensive, 3 of the colours are defensive.
Sure.
So you're probably going to have one from one category and one from the other.
Unless you want like a complete glass cannon deck or a complete turtle deck.
Yeah. The guy I played with had a lot of cards with the bodyguard type, which was very frustrating from a certain point of view. Although
sure.
The deck I've got is the Kronk Scar deck, the basic bitch starter set. So the gimmick of that is it can do more the more damage counters the opponent has. So it's one of those weird ones. It's very momentum based.
Yeah.
I've been told explicitly the Ruby ink type is pretty much an analog for Mountain Red from Magic the Gathering, in that it's all about just fucking steamrolling.
Yeah, and it burns out fast if you use too much of it too quick.
Yeah. You look at the card pools and you can definitely see certain elements. Like blue has a lot of like teamwork effects. Like the cards aren't good on their own, but if the more cards you have, the more they help each other and the stronger they get.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the main way your ultimate goal is to get 20 lore, and some cards are really good at doing that. There's a card for Maui where he's called Maui half Titan God bullshit, whatever the fuck, and he's got 8/8 for his attack and defense.
I love that being his actual name. Maui half Titan God whatever the fuck.
I can't remember the exact name, but he's got 8/8, which is a strong fucking card. However, he can still only generate 1 lore, so he is there to fucking deal with problems, not to make you win the game.
Sure. Speaking of Maui, actually, the Maui class was essentially released in Pathfinder like this week.
You're going to have to elaborate.
You can be literally a demigod. And it's called the Exemplar, and it's there to you embody what you would be if you were a demigod, and the iconic for that class is almost exactly just a carbon copy of Maui with the serial numbers filed off. Some of the options that they give you for like your divine implement are a personal weapon, and they give you a example of a hook, or tattoos. So yeah, they're very much leaning on Maui in particular when they were designing it.
Yeah, fair enough. You bringing that up literally just reminded me of a YouTube short I saw of someone going like, I don't know what feat to take in D&D, and someone leans in Pathfinder, you get a feat every level, and this and that, and there's in Pathfinder, there's not just classes, there's archetypes, and you can have several at a time. And eventually it just cuts to the D&D player going, you know what, Pathfinder sounds fun. Do you want to GM a game? And he just goes, oh no one GMs Pathfinder.
Yeah. Yeah, people only ever want to be players. Although that said, it is the game that made me retire my no GMing rule.
You ready for some news?
Let's go.
First and foremost, Kaizo Murase has passed away at the age of 89. He was a Toho lifer. He was a sculptor for them. He sculpted the suit designs for Godzilla himself, Mothra, King Ghidorah. He once did the suit for Gamera and for Viras, which we've both seen.
Mm-hmm.
He is, quite frankly, one of the few legends as far as Toho lifers goes. Like, he's worked on a lot. He's done a lot of iconic stuff. And if you ever look at pictures of him, he looks like a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Like, just all-round cool guy. 89 is good fucking innings. I had to wait to jot down this in my notes because when I looked into it, there have been like 5 hoaxes about his passing up until now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, that's it's a sad day for Godzilla, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other news, this one's weird. I don't follow One Direction, but it just came as such a shock. Liam Payne passed away at the age of 31.
Yeah, he apparently fell from a balcony.
Well, yeah, he fell and or jumped. It's very unclear. There's a few things I want to touch upon because sometimes you go down rabbit holes because, again, this person is effectively the same age as me. And a mutual friend of ours in the group chat when we brought it up said it made me feel very mortal, and I feel exactly the same way. So I looked into it. The guy had such substance abuse issues and has gone on record as saying he's had suicidal thoughts before. It raises the question as to whether or not he was high on something and there was an accident, or if he just thought, fuck it. It's not a pleasant thing to think about. One of the things I want to point to is TMZ are they're not a very good organisation anyway, but when they initially reported the news, they just straight up had a picture of his body on their news article. I didn't see this because by the time it was brought to my attention, they'd already edited the article to take the picture out, but I don't think there's anyone on this planet who can think, oh yeah, that's an okay thing to do.
Yeah, that's not in any way tasteful.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. That's a very mild way of putting it, and I appreciate you don't want to get angry before we watch our movie today, but
yeah,
it's not nice. To put it mildly, it's a very disgusting thing to do. Don't support TMZ. Why is it still a company?
Yeah. But yeah, like you say, he had a lot of substance abuse problems. Articles that I read say that he allegedly had gotten sober in the past, but it seems to not have stuck.
Well, it's one of those. It also brings up the question of if you're perfectly fine and not suicidal when you're sober, but you become that way when you're on substances. Did you really commit suicide? Do you know what I mean?
Well, the other side of that is, are you really fine without the substances?
Again, I'm telling you that you become suicidal when you take them, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if he took too many, let's just use cocaine as an example, because I don't know if he was on cocaine. I'm not saying he was. Let's say if you snort some cocaine, it makes you suddenly really depressed and you want to end it all. Do you really want to end it all, or is that the chemicals fucking with you?
Yeah, I guess.
That's the question some people might want to ask. Either way, 31 is far too young for anyone to go. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Whether or not you like One Direction or not, it's not the fucking point.
The nearest analogue I can think of, because it's the only one that I've really got any experience with, is alcohol, and where that really just does take away your inhibitions, and it just gives you a stupid and pure form of yourself. So if you're not happy when you're drunk, it's because you're probably not happy IRL.
Rick, do you want an update on something we mentioned ages ago?
Let's go.
Yeah, so I brought this off podcast, so I'm just going to bring it up on podcast because I never actually addressed it. Not too long ago, I mentioned something called the Multiverse Project.
Yeah.
It was a fucking scam.
I was excited for this, and now I'm not as excited for this in any way.
So I actually saved the original image, the original promotional image. On that original promotional image, it had the names Alex Hirsch, Dana Terrace, and Matt Braley on it, which implied that all three were connected to the project. As soon as the project went live, all three of those names went away from the project, and it's a series of commemorative fan art pins, which I'm not poo-pooing anyone for making fan products. I am poo-pooing someone for making it look as if the creators of these fantastic cartoons and shows were going to do some sort of collaborative final goodbye project.
Yeah. A very scummy way to play on the emotions of people who are clamoring for more of these things.
I generally thought it was going to be a comic book or something.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I
just want to apologise if somehow my talking about it made people hyped and they looked at it and went, what the fuck is this shit? I'm aware that it isn't what I thought it was going to be, and that's entirely on the person who, initially made the Kickstarter, I guess. Or is it a GoFundMe? Either way, fuck them.
Yeah. It's they made a Go Kick Me apparently now.
Very briefly, we've got some video game news. Hades 2 gets its first big update. They've added an entire region to the second path of the game. I haven't touched it since the update dropped. In fact, I haven't touched it since I beat the big boss all that time ago. I'm basically waiting for more actual content, and it looks like it's time for me to jump back in and give that a go. They've brought back some gods that were cut from... Well, I wouldn't say cut. They were in Hades 1, and they didn't show up again in Hades 2, but they've brought them back. I won't say who they are. I won't spoil it, but they're back in the game. And that's all the information I've got, because again, I've not played it. I'm looking forward to jumping back in and doing a bit more Hades 2.
Sure. Well, I can make a few guesses on the gods, but yeah, it's I don't even think I've got all of them in my game yet.
In other video game news, Pirate Yakuza released a mild gameplay trailer. They showed off what ship combat's going to be like, and Rick, they did the best thing they could. They're just doing Black Flag.
Sweet. you see Black Sails or whatever it was, like Skull and Bones. All you have to do is take an old game and remake it new and do it well.
Well, I think what happened is they might have looked at what Ubisoft did with Skull and Bones and went, so I guess they've given up on that combat system so we can use it.
Yeah.
Also, you can't patent gameplay mechanics.
Yep.
Also, Samoa Joe appears in that trailer for the second time, and he gets a voice-speaking role in the trailer, so I'm happy.
Cool.
Rick, have you seen Elon Musk's new helper robots?
I have not.
Okay, so Elon Musk is pushing that his company is now going to be making these robots that are going to help you around the house with menial tasks.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot about another thing. Apparently, a Roomba has been hacked and has been chasing someone's pets around their house whilst shouting racial slurs.
Have you got an actual source for that, or is it just one of those funny stories that someone made up?
It's a funny story that it had an article, and it's not Roomba itself. It's a different company that's based in Texas.
Okay, but again, is that actually something that happened, or is it just someone wrote? There has to be some sort of verifiable proof here.
So it's apparently something that happens, and the company is denying that it happened, which means it probably happened.
But a company has to deny it happened, whether it happened or not.
Yeah. The company admits that there is a potential that someone guessed the PIN number to it and was able to take control of it, but they deny that it's been hacked at a company level.
Well, okay, if this story is true, and I don't really believe it, if it was hacked at a company level, why would they only do it to one?
Yeah. But yeah, it was apparently using its speaker to shout in a very tinny recorded voice some slurs that I'm not going to repeat here. You can guess. But
yeah, Elon Musk's helper robots. When I say robots, like they've made them look human-like. This is shit. Don't trust Elon.
Yeah. A lot of the things that he's seen recently is people using like 2021 AI to like do a picture of Elon Musk with a bunch of spaceships in a room and a bunch of clapping white people that look like PS1 graphics, and like posting that shit on Facebook, because the worst thing is there are people that are so cognitively impaired that they will believe that.
Well, Rick, there was images from the floodings not too long ago where someone had an AI very poorly draw Donald Trump. Well, not poorly draw, poorly Photoshop Donald Trump into positions where he was wading through waist-length water to save people from the flooding, and people were believing it.
Yep.
Like, that man has never done a piece of manual labour in his life, and even if he did, even if he was physically fit, he's not wading through fucking floodwaters to save your ass.
Yeah, I think the only manual labour he's ever done is lifting a golf club.
Yeah, to be fair, golf is not a physically weak sport. You have to be physically fit to golf well. However, Donald Trump, it cheats at golf too.
Yeah. You have to be fit enough to be able to swing the golf club. However, I do know a lot of rotund men who also do play golf, so there is that.
Yeah, but being physically strong doesn't mean you're physically fit.
Oh yeah, you need to be physically strong enough, and he's like 6'2" or whatever. So
yeah. Anyway, the funniest thing about Donald Trump and golf is how he's got a special award that only he can win every year at his golf club. Yeah, because
the owner's award.
Well, because he's so good at golf, he doesn't need to golf at the same time as everyone else in the competition. He can do it on a different day with no witnesses.
Yeah.
What was the winning score? 89. I got 87. Anyway, I digress. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck all of these people. No, we're not sponsored.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yep. I've also seen the recent Musk jumping at a Trump rally and his belly showing, and that's been photoshopped onto a lot of things this week.
Yeah, that was like from a week ago as well. Like over a week ago.
Yeah.
I just didn't bring it up because shit birds flock together. Who'da funk it?
Yeah, I found out how to block certain tags on Imgur, and I've now blocked politics, political, and Trump.
Speaking about blocking, Rick, this wasn't even on my news, but you just triggered my memory. Because,
the automatic unblocking thing, yeah.
So on Twitter, you can block people, but what's going to happen going forward is, even if you block people, people can see your stuff.
Yeah, as long as it's public, people can see your stuff. And if it's private, then what's the point in posting it? The other thing on Twitter is that from now on, you have to physically go and opt out of all of your posts being used as AI training things for their grok.
Yeah, so this is now the time to announce that Nonsense Review is joining that other website that is now public to join.
Yeah. Well, Blue Sky, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going to start making the transition behind the scenes because Twitter was a cesspool anyway, but we needed it for advertising. But now that the competitor is becoming public access, we'll probably just join that and use that instead of Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last but not least, Rick, this is not a wrestling podcast.
What's happened?
New Japan's Hiroshi Tanahashi has announced his retirement.
Okay, that's better than passing away.
Yeah, he is going to be retiring from wrestling. He's not retired now. He said he's going to retire. He's been wrestling for 25 years. That's
good innings for a physical contact sport.
It's a weird time to be a wrestling fan because John Cena announced earlier this year that he's doing a retirement tour himself, and for context, Tanahashi is essentially Japan's John Cena.
Okay.
Like, they are both very big names in wrestling, and the fact that they're both retiring at more or less the same time, it's almost poetic.
Yeah, fair enough. I kind of like that, actually, yeah.
I wish both of them the best. I hope they have great send-offs as they have both rightly earned. I don't know who's going to take Tanahashi's place. That being said, Tanahashi has had both, despite being the face of the company, he does have plenty of behind-the-scenes roles already at New Japan, so chances are while he's going to retire from wrestling, he's still going to keep all those behind-the-scenes positions.
Sure.
So yeah, it is what it is. And with that, I'm going to preemptively apologise. I still have my cough, as I mentioned earlier. If I cough during the actual React review segment, I'm not going to be editing it out unless it's a really horrible noise. So if you hear coughing, my apologies. Rick, what the fuck are we doing today?
We're doing Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Now, Rick, I'm going to ban you from saying Scooby-Doo ever again because you sound like Jethro.
Who is Jethro?
Oh, you never... he's a comedian from, like, Cornwall.
Okay.
I think he's been dead for like 3 years now, but he's got a slight lisp. But that's the sort of shit he'd say as Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you had a girlfriend.
This is, I believe, Shaggy's first canonical girlfriend.
Sweet.
Slight behind-the-scenes information that I managed to glean while doing my research. If you look at the crowd when they do the zoom-in shot, there is a caricature of the titular Hannah in the crowd.
Okay.
There he is on the left, with the white hair.
Fair enough.
And the I want to say the niece of the character designer for Scooby, Shaggy, and basically everyone iconic in Scooby-Doo, did a bunch of designs for characters on this show, including Shaggy's girlfriend.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah, family business. Next question, Rick. Do you like wacky races?
I mean, I do, and yeah, this is just wacky races again.
Hanna-Barbera's allowed to do that shit. They own both. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you pay close attention, you can see straight up rips of just scenes from Wacky Races where they just redesigned the cars or some shit.
Yeah, almost certainly. It's wacky NASCAR. Oh, it's a steamroller.
I might not be an expert, but it really looks like they're fucking advertising Marlboros. Oh, it's Marlboros, so it looks like a cigarette brand, but it's not.
Yeah, just to make it look like what everyone would expect to see. And Adic, and not Adidas.
Yeah, that's great. Also, have you noticed anything about a certain Shaggy?
Yeah, he's got a red shirt instead of a green one today.
So during the movies, he had the red shirt. After this, he'd never wears it again.
Okay.
Strad's cooler.
Only because he controls the entire universe.
That's what you think.
Okay.
This castle doesn't look that big and impressive, does it?
It looks like the entrance to a much bigger castle.
Yeah. Alternatively, the trapdoor.
Yeah.
Trapdoor!
You're a fool if you dare.
William Hanna, that's who was caricatured in that crowd. Don't know why he was and not Barbara. Well, Barbara.
Yeah.
Sorry,
oh, well.
I keep saying Barbara. Barbera.
Yeah. And Joseph Barbera, yeah.
So, again, while doing the research, a lot of people have some negative opinions of this movie. And it was really depressing to read because I have nothing but fond memories.
Okay. So these are all the dads of the girls at the ghoul school?
No. In fact, that's why the movies aren't canon, because we see the dads in the ghoul school and these ain't them.
Sure.
That is a sexy werewolf.
It is. It reminds me of Sloane's Mackenzie.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you got it.
Oh, this is really cute. Let's see what you could have won. With this Morticia with her serial numbers filed off.
I was thinking Vampirella, but...
well, she's got the Morticia, feet on the dress.
Yeah, I sees it. Real worms. I saw some fan art of Raven from the Teen Titans wearing Morticia's dress, and boy, is it a good picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably an affirming picture for for life choices.
God damn, the definition of padding some of this, isn't it? And we're only fucking 5 minutes in.
Yeah. I mean, definition of padding, but also we had an opening scene that was like a YouTube short of wacky races.
You're not wrong. I don't know why the Swamp Thing is here.
Why is Shaggy in a book?
Because it's fate, destiny.
Yeah. Shaggy.
Yeah, that's That's going to be a running joke throughout this movie. Are we ignoring...
The Hunch Bunch.
Are we ignoring the fact that the original werewolf was quite a looker anyway? I'm not a furry, but...
Yeah, apparently they class the original werewolf as handsome and not cute.
Fine. That's a classic joke in any fucking thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That one of them translates the one that's completely non-verbal.
It was very funny, well done in Top Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Why have you brought him along? Why have you brought the dog along? Oh, we don't want the dog, we want his handler, because he's translating for the fucker who can't talk. Someone had fun recording that.
Yeah, they look like such, 80s, 90s cartoon villains. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, let's go to the Dratcopter, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember...
I want one.
I don't remember this movie having a fucking narrator.
Dickhead! What?
I know it's meant to be popcorn, but it very much looks like rice.
It does a bit.
Now, we've got this weird paradox sort of going on where, in this movie and the last one, monsters were very definitely real. But in all the TV shows up until this point, no monster was real.
Yeah, I think it's only in movies that monsters are real. Also, as if Scooby would care that the corn had been on the ground.
Here's a dog.
Yeah. And the floor is indeed the dog shelf.
It's one of those funny ones where I distinctly remember back in the day, obviously it's not the case anymore, but in the old house, the dogs would basically live in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And what would happen is, if something got dropped on the floor, it was like, don't pick that up, and you just call the dogs over, and it's like, oh, treats.
Yes, it's now dog-free reign, and to the point that we got a family friend whose dog also behaved by that maxim, and now had to be trained not to start ramming into people to get them to drop things. That's a very tall Shaggy.
We used to rip the piss out of Steven Universe for the inconsistent heights, but it's been a thing in cartoons since times immemorial.
Yeah. Well, it looked like Scrappy wasn't invited to the viewing.
I think Scrappy was hanging out with a girlfriend. Don't read into that too much.
Well, both of them left the show, I guess, so... I like the implication that it was because the actors just left together. A weird puppy.
Why didn't Scooby just fucking knock the ladder down?
Because that would be a crime.
No, it wouldn't. It's America. They've got stand your ground laws in almost every state.
Well, they do now. This is the 80s.
They still had them then.
Okay. Oh, okay, he's got a single Wolverine nail.
I think he's got Swiss Army tools in his fingers, and that just happens to be the one he's using.
Okay, Swiss Army fingies, okay. Puppy power!
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
Is it a mud track?
Nope. It's very curious, isn't it? Because that appears to be a tile roof.
Yeah, but once it's been sawn through, it's yeah. There's not even a line.
No. Well, magic bullshit.
Because they politely put it back. Dracula!
To be fair, mobile phones didn't exist in the 80s. At least not good ones.
Yeah. I think he's... spag through the phone.
Yeah, that'd be awful. I will say, this design for Dracula is pretty decent.
It is, yeah. Oh, man. Say it, don't spray it.
Nobody notices this.
Yeah. It's even got like a car bottom on it, like, and everything. Like, I want one of those.
It genuinely looks like they took the Mean Machine and just changed the shape.
Sure.
Man, this would have gone a lot smoother for them if they just bought a Circle of the Moon Druid.
Yeah.
I love that. A dozen of these frozen pizzas throws in one box.
Yep.
Doggy bonbons. In the cold cuts section?
Well, to be fair, like, dogs do like meat.
Yeah, but it's not a bonbon if it's made of meat.
Yeah.
And they've got like 5 sections labelled cheese. I'm starting to think the animators got lazy.
Oh, now they're being forced to commit crimes.
Fucking hooligans.
Yeah.
Mel's produce just happens to be melons.
My cabbages.
They're melons. I also don't know what that word means, but I assume it means reconvene later.
Well, reconnoiter is, do reconnaissance.
Well, that's stupid. Just say reconnaissance. I hate the fact that Dracula's head stays on his fucking head when he's a bat.
Yeah. A bat laser.
Oh, he thinks he's on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah. Yep, Zoom call joke before Zoom.
Yeah. Why has he only got one eyebrow?
Why do you leave his underpants behind?
Because he's got his cock out and he's probably fucking someone.
Sure.
Hopefully his daughter is not around.
Yeah.
Actually,
is the Morticia his daughter or what?
I'm pretty sure it's meant to be his daughter.
Yeah.
I found that kind of sweet of Shaggy, where the whole reason why he's bringing Scooby and Scrappy to his date is because he doesn't want to leave Scooby on his own because he's been freaking out lately.
Yeah. It's so romantic. Let me sit on your lap. Move the fucking bucket of drink.
Funny joke.
Funny joke.
Their car appears to be a convertible, but a really poorly put together one.
It's a fucking Flintstones car. Like, there's no windscreen. It's just. Oh, it's the racer. It's the racer car.
Yeah, I know. This is why I'm saying it's a poorly made convertible, because look how it's attached to the fucking roof.
Yeah, they just made a Flintstones version of it. Yes, it would.
And the girlfriend doesn't ask any questions because it's literally what she's suggesting.
Yeah.
And that's where an ad break would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie is touted as 2 hours long. It's only an hour and a half, but because it was on a syndicated network and they needed to make that fucking money, it's half an hour of adverts, guys.
Yeah. This is where Shaggy's girlfriend finds out she's into furries.
Furries didn't exist in 1988.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Maid Marian predates furries.
Yeah.
Predates 1988.
But I don't think furries was a term, is my point.
Sure.
The specific term furry was being used in fanzines as early as 1983, and had become the standard name for the genre by the mid-1990s, when it was defined as the organised appreciation and dissemination of art and prose regarding furries or fictional mammalian anthropomorphic characters. And people say furries aren't clever.
Yeah, if one furry convention gets bombed, then the entire infrastructure of the internet goes down.
Yes, I too have heard this joke.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, fucking furry, weird hybrid humans that people want to fuck have been around since, like, Greek times, but the term furries...
Yeah. Like, older than the Greeks, even Egyptian times.
Okay, but my brain defaults to Greeks when I want to discuss old shit.
Sure.
Also, can you believe how many snacks they managed to get for $15?
Yeah.
So that Pops from fucking Johnny Bravo.
It does look like him, don't it? Wasn't this guy black a moment ago? Is it going to be the Scooby snacks?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual reason is, but like we've already established that the hiccups are what are doing the transformation actually itself. But
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't talk for a long moment there because I'm like, shit, I'm actually struggling about shit to say. That's Shaggy's voice actor.
It is, yeah. Scooby's got to save Shaggy from the werewolf. Oh no!
Oh, that's gross. Why is there an egg?
I don't know. Who'd throw away an entire egg?
Like one that's been fried like that, specifically.
Yeah.
Or was it meant to be a flower top? But that makes even less sense.
Yeah. And a carrot.
Carrot, fine. They're near fucking a food stand. Maybe it's being used in guacamole dip mixes and shit.
Yeah.
Listen, no offense here, Dracula, but like, get better fucking help.
Yeah. Yeah, he had no problem serving the werewolf Shaggy, but like as soon as two humpy-looking normal humans come along.
Yeah. He's like fucking Carl Pilkington. It's like I got to get used to you.
Yeah. Little midget fella.
You can't say that word no more. I had to explain to a kid at work not too long ago that he can't go around calling little people midgets, and he didn't understand. And I'm just like, it's just not the acceptable term anymore.
Yeah, like you can only use it when you're talking about midget gems, and that's about it.
I don't know what those are, Rick.
They're little they're little versions of fruit gums.
Okay. Yeah, it is what it is.
Made by the Lions Corporation.
It's one of those weird things where, again, you're not allowed to use Oriental anymore, but only if you're describing people. You can still use it to describe food.
Yes.
And I had to explain this to someone, because, again, I've never called a person Oriental, because they're not, they're Asian.
Yeah. Like, the reason that it was, like, not seen as offensive in the UK is because, like, Asian usually meant Middle Eastern, because that's the closest part of Asia to us.
Well, no, it used to mean Indian or Pakistani, because that was the biggest number of migrants we used to get.
Yeah.
But again, I've never made a distinction. It's just like Asian. What type of Asia? China, Japan, etc.
Yeah. And here we do a kidnapping.
Like, yeah, you called it. God, that's a horrible fucking face design.
It was. So what's her name? Gookie or something?
I believe it's Gooby. G-O-O-B for Bravo, I-E. Who names a shop Bazaar?
I would like a kazaa.
I rewatched the clip not too long ago of Callie discovering how to play a kazoo, and it is still funny to this day.
Just the frickin', like, the way that her eyes go is just peak comedy.
Yeah, but it's also like she'd already returned a kazoo by this point because she doesn't know how they fucking work. It's just funny to me.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't even that. She ordered more kazoos. She ordered another kazoo. Yeah.
So I find it difficult sometimes to explain to people that my sense of humour is fucking stupid. Now, I was mentioning how I played Lorcana with a mutual friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Our mutual friend can't shuffle cards.
Right.
I also can't shuffle cards, so I do the old fucking count method because it's good enough. Where, you place a bunch of cards face down and you do it in order. It shuffles the cards well enough, in my opinion. I'm not playing in tournaments. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, you can do it randomly enough by doing that. Like, you don't, as long as you don't do it. If you do it in not quite perfect order, then it's a pretty good shuffle.
Yeah, it's one of those. So this person I'm talking about has brought a electronic card shuffler.
Okay.
One of the problems with this is, unless it's just the base card or a very tight-fitting sleeve, it won't shuffle the cards.
Yeah.
So it's only useful for him because he's got the right sleeves, and I'm like, I like my sleeves.
Yeah.
But the thing is every time he uses it, it's so loud. It's like someone starting a fucking motorbike. That's how loud it is. And it goes on for like... It doesn't last for long, because it's only shuffling, like, in case of Lorcana, 60 cards.
Sure.
But it was so loud that I just started pissing myself laughing. And he's like, I don't get it, what's so funny? And it's like, don't worry about it, it's so loud. That's what's funny.
Yeah. And it's loud because he can't be bothered learning to shuffle. How are they stuck in the thing that's meant for, like, letting the thing through? Jesus Christ.
Because they needed a gag.
Oh, yeah, they need to crush Dracula.
Yeah, the answer
is... get crushed again.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, the answer is they needed to do this because slapstick is awesome. Is there actually a difference?
I don't think so, actually.
This looks sinister, doesn't it?
It does, like the sacrifice chamber.
Is revival spray just code for cocaine?
Yeah, probably.
It's a white powder. Have you seen that shit that fucking sports people take, where it's literally you just crack it and give it a sniff and it'll fucking wake you up? That shit's wild. I think Rhett and Link fucking took some once, and it was so funny. Rhett and Link, are those people? Okay. Am I making those names up?
Yeah, Good Mythical Morning, yeah.
To be fair, if I was woken up and it looked like I was about to be bukakied by the cast of Monster Mash, I'd too want to wish it was a dream.
Yeah, like, you just assume, wouldn't you? Like,
it's a dream, I'm just going to roll with it. Oh, look, it's Sans from Undertale.
Yeah. It's Sans Undertale!
I fucking love how much of a grouchy old fuck JR is during that commentary. I know I bring it up all the time, but he sounds so fucking depressed, and it's like, motherfucker, you're a wrestling commentator. Get used to it.
And it's because of that the internet has just taken to calling him Sans Undertale.
But it's the other guy who says that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, then again, Jim Ross just goes, he's channeling the ability of Sans from Undertale. Oh, JR, could you have a bit more enthusiasm, please? You're being paid so much.
Hey, it's a dragonfly.
Yeah, I saw that joke coming, the old cackling.
Yep.
I think Frankenstein's monster has done very little this, except for laugh at people.
Well, yeah, he's had his bolt pulled out by his wife.
It's the Yeti!
Yeah.
That actually looked like a pretty cool design there with the fucking helmet on.
It kind of does, actually. A mummy knight. Shit, okay, we're gonna have to design a mummy knight now, aren't we?
No. I love the detail that the slightly larger witch has got a tattoo.
Yeah, a heart tattoo, yeah.
Listen, I know I'm a freak, but I would.
Yeah.
So wait, they think they're having a shared hallucination now.
Yeah, so they're trying to wake up from it. I did a quick peek, actually, and because this is the end of the scrappy incarnation of the universe, apparently that means that Shaggy and Googie stay together forever.
Okay. What do you mean?
Because this is the only time she ever shows up.
Oh.
And because this is the end of this incarnation of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, but I already told you that each movie's its self-contained thing, so that was already a given.
Yeah, but it's also like the end of the Scrappy era.
Yeah, but again, it isn't connected to anything prior.
Sure.
And Billy's special prize!
A speedboat.
Fuck me, it is Bullseye.
In a photo. It's like
Please show a fucking speedboat. So that was second prize. The Void.
The dungeon. The Black Hole of Calcutta.
I've got to look that up. Is that a real thing?
Apparently. Well, probably not.
Calcutta's in fucking India.
Yeah, it's just somewhere far away.
That's a silver trophy. It should be gold, shouldn't it? If you're winning.
Yeah, but also, like, skulls look better in silver than gold.
The Black Hole of Calcutta was a dungeon in Fort William, Calcutta, measuring 14 by 18 feet, in which troops of Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the Nawab of Bengal, held British prisoners of war on the night of 20th of June 1956. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Okay.
So it's a real-life dungeon in India where they'd fuck up British troops.
Yeah, we probably deserved it.
I mean, it ultimately is one of the reasons why why we ended up fucking up that particular Nawab, because Britain wasn't too happy to learn about this.
Yeah.
So, with his troop and local Indian allies, Clive recaptured Calcutta in January and defeated Siraj ud-Dowlah at the Battle of Plassey, which resulted in him being overthrown and executed.
Yeah.
The Black Hole of Calcutta was later used as a warehouse.
But not that kind of warehouse.
There is an obelisk been erected to as a memorial towards the people who died there. 43 from 64 prisoners died. That's a fucking high mortality rate.
Yeah, Jesus. How is this ginger thing not classed as a werewolf?
I think it's meant to be like an analogue of Igor.
Okay.
Also,
his fangs crossed.
By definition, a werewolf has to transform, so if that's its sole form, then it can't be a werewolf.
Sure, so he might just be a wolf man, yeah.
I still can't get over the fact they're giving a silver trophy to the winner of this tournament. Because,
yeah.
Silver 1 means second place, and 2, isn't silver deadly to almost every single mythical creature?
Yeah, specifically werewolves.
Well, no, because vampires take it as well.
Yeah, depending on your mythology, yeah, but werewolves are the big ones that, lycanthropes in general, but werewolves in particular.
You can tell it's...
apparently the reason that vampires don't show up in reflections is because most mirrors used to be use silver as their thing to make them reflective. And silver being something that was pure was something that a vampire was not.
I thought it was because there's a silver frame of mirrors.
No, it's the silver at the back of the glass.
I'm not arguing with you. I totally believe you. I'm just saying I must have heard an incorrect version.
Okay.
That rug looks like it's going to come alive. No, never mind. It's the other animation.
It's just a trapdoor, yeah.
It's the animation thing of this thing looks like it's going to move. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Oh, super happy fun slide.
Yep. Super fun happy slide. This is the only thing that's painted on that's not just a hand painted item.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when you've got an item in old animation, like this door.
Oh yeah, but don't forget they're using a primitive form of CG for a lot of this, for the colour anyway.
Yeah.
I think everything's hand drawn, but the colouring process was digital.
Yeah. Oh, a classic escape room.
I've always wanted to do an escape room.
I don't know if I would, because I get annoyed at puzzles, but I get annoyed at puzzles with steps,
Okay,
because if you miss one step, then it's really difficult to pick it up.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but you've got a time limit and stuff, so you can only be stuck for so long.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be so funny if Frankenstein's wife, or the Bride of Frankenstein, whatever you want to call her, just started twerking? and it would only be funny because this is 1988.
Yeah. But also, because people came out of the cake, it's implied that someone else was meant to come out of the cake and go, happy birthday, Mr. Dracula, or whatever.
I believe it's a pre-race celebration.
Yeah.
I love old school bullshit like this. The plasma pizza.
I mean, that's just blood, so... Scooby's a dog. There's almost zero chance that he wouldn't want to eat the thing that's got blood in it.
Yeah, but he's been brought up on a diet on people food.
Sure.
Now, you know if they had a bit more of a budget, they'd have sprung for Monster Mash.
Yeah.
I guess this is a...
Yeah, this is our mid-movie padding moment.
How come they knew Scooby was going to be here for the song?
It's something that really gets me, like, when you have a song and all that, and the characters sing it. Okay, they're not singing it now, but it always bugs me how the characters in the song, in the movie or whatever, know the words to the song.
Okay. Unless it's...
when they just bust out into song?
Unless it's a Bon Jovi track, yes.
Yeah.
Listen, man, those witches can do whatever they want to me.
Yeah.
God, I'm just thinking of that meme of me, of my beautiful witch girlfriend, and it's just you in the middle of a summoning circle with a bunch of lines on your chest going, me doing whatever the fuck she says.
Yeah.
Man, there was this older lady at work not too long... Well, literally, like, my last shift. Like, you know what I'm like with older women. And, I was reducing some bread, and I was on my knees because I was doing stuff on the bottom shelf, and she just came up and said, "Oh, I love seeing men kneeling down to pray," and that my brain's like, "Don't say what you're thinking. Don't say what you're thinking. Don't say what you're thinking." And I didn't, because I don't want to get fired or potentially embarrass someone. But I'm just thinking, I like getting on my knees for better stuff than this. And I was just like, man. Sometimes I think you should shoot these shots, and then I also think if you shoot these shots, you'd not have a job. Matt, there was a Tumblr post rotating not too long ago of someone saying like, "Oh yeah, I like older women, but your definition of an older woman is someone who's in her mid-30s and quite attractive." And it cuts to a tweet of someone going, "Man, these people are saying they want to fuck MILFs," and I'm just like, if I showed you pictures of the MILFs I want to fuck, you'd vomit. I'm in that category. I know what I find attractive is not generally considered attractive.
Yeah, I think your generous description was something along the lines of unconventionally attractive faces.
Yeah. Listen, I know Dracula has forced Shaggy to become a werewolf here, but he's being quite an accommodating host, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Tomb service.
I mean, that's what Dracula did introduce it as. It actually looks good, too.
Yeah, it does. Oh no, it's vegan.
Alright, so try and make him more wolfy.
Made from wolf's bane or something. Screen beans!
That's a good joke. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's cute.
Look how big that fucking course is.
Yeah, that's way better than the starting one. So, okay, so... yeah, that very definitely is a wacky racist course. I like it.
Yeah. I guess they couldn't do this for wacky races because the gruesome twosome would have a home field advantage.
Yeah.
I love this because Dracula doesn't want don't want Shaggy to win, so that's why he's trying to not give him an advantage. But
Yeah, and it's going to turn out he's going to end up with second place, isn't he? So he gets the Hawaii trip.
I mean, I can't say anything, Rick, because I know how the film ends.
Sure.
Again, I loved this film as a kid. Not as much as Ghoul School, but it was up there. Because they'd usually play the two back-to-back.
Sure, okay.
Just convenient levers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, because you've done nothing but fucking knock it out of the park all this time.
Yep, so it would seem.
Listen, if that happened to you, would you not immediately think you're being fucked with?
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. What you would want to do is not fuck with him when he's doing this and give him the false sense of security, then fuck with him when he's doing the race itself properly.
Yeah. That's so dumb. Like, it's great, but it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even his fault. Like, your trap didn't work, but that wasn't the person enacting the trap's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Having a henchman not able to activate your trap, however, is their fault.
Yeah. Okay, so the smart one of the Crunch Bunch, the Hunch Bunch, is Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we've spoken about him on the podcast before. He's basically a seasoned veteran voice actor, even at this point in his career.
Yeah, Rob Paulson, Raphael as well.
So we just saw Scooby and Scrappy making melting marshmallows during the Dragon Cave, and I don't care for s'mores. I think they're a silly idea in general, but I absolutely adore the fact that the Yanks fucking hate us about s'mores, all because of Paul Hollywood.
Oh, because why? What did he do? Did he just not understand what they were?
Pretty much, man. He said a perfect s'more is he was getting that fucking tool out that you use for fucking making creme brulee, the fucking mini fire thing. He goes, what you want to do is you want to slightly scorch the outside of the marshmallow. The last thing we want is it to get all is for it to melt and get all squidgy and soft. And it's like Americans went fucking...
The exact thing you want is for it to get squidgy. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, so Americans went fucking mental. And it's like, it's only at that point they were like, hey, what other cuisines from other countries has Paul Hollywood fucked up? Oh, all of them.
Yeah. So he wants, basically he's saying he wants medium rare marshmallows on his s'mores.
Not even, though, because he's not cooking the marshmallow. He's just, burning up the outside. Like, literally creme brulee, where they're just making the top look a bit burnt.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. I think marshmallows are one of the very few things that are 100% made better by cooking.
I don't like marshmallows full stop, and I think that's probably my problem.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's sneaky, isn't it?
You run it backwards.
That doesn't really change the course as much as you think it would.
Now, okay, it doesn't change it that much, but it changes it enough that if you've got, memory, then it will, it'll really fuck with you. What's the top of his head?
Oh, yeah, God, what the fuck?
Okay. It was blending into the ceiling.
Yeah, because of the light source they're trying to convey. But did you see his teeth just get super long as well?
Yeah, they got super long so he could tangle them when they were trying to crush him in the spike trap.
Okay.
because he also mentioned really early on that his fangs were crossed when he was saying something that he was lying about.
Right.
So yeah, you can tangle his fangs to lie or to like reverse what he's saying about.
Man, that might be... it might be silly, but I might start doing that for Strahd. Nah, I'm kidding.
What? She crosses her fangs.
It's one of those where it's so hard not to be silly as a DM.
Yeah.
I like being a silly DM. However, I need to try and keep the atmosphere at least a bit tense, and it never fucking works. You guys go off on all sorts of silly tangents, and I'm just there trying not to join in the laughter.
Yeah, it's one of those. You've got to stop Curse of Strahd becoming Strahd-Doo.
That was definitely Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
So, hey, you're being put in a race for pretty much your life. What car do you want most to have as your vehicle? Aston Martin, a Ford GT, that bullshit car that fucking Penelope Pitstop has? Now, we're going to give you a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. The Barbie Volkswagen New Beetle.
Ain't now wrong with a Beetle, apart from the fact it was made by Nazis, but as a car, it's...
that was the old Beetle. The new Beetle is not made by Nazis.
I'm just saying, it originally started as a Nazi creation.
Yeah.
But, it's not a car... long story short, it's not a car I'd want as a race car. Unless everyone else was also driving a Beetle.
Yeah, if everyone else was driving it, then fine. So, like, Herbie. I think Herbie's a Beetle.
Yeah, but Herbie's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, Herbie's a wacky racist protagonist that doesn't even need a driver.
Yeah. Man, did you see how they did a lot of the scenes for Herbie back in the day?
No.
So they'd have two versions of the Herbie car, one for each side for shots. And there's basically not a ramp, but like a side plate bolted on to the side of the car.
Right.
On the side you can't see, so the driver has to lie down on this side thing, and he's got a steering wheel and the pedals on the the thing. So you can't see him in the shots, so Herbie looks like he's driving himself. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah. I've also seen the backwards car, where they just basically put the entire car on backwards to make it when someone's doing a rapid reverse, that the person driving it can do it forwards the way that they normally would.
Okay, I get what you're saying. It took a moment to pass. That's literally just fucking what's his name, the penis car.
The knobmobile.
Oh, what's his name? The guy who wants to knob Penelope. You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah, the one that's not Dick Dastardly.
Well, Dick Dastardly doesn't want to knob Penelope.
Snidely Whiplash?
No. Peter Perfect?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
I like Jangle's car. Get it right, Drac. It's the Yeti. This is a new fucking guy. We ain't seen him before.
Yeah, he's very definitely new.
Okay, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That makes sense.
Yeah, Mr. Seek. The fearful Fagan.
Car's fucked, mate.
Yeah, like Krankenwagen just meaning poorly car.
How in the fuck did he manage to make that pile up? It's usually the car at the front, dickhead.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like they intend to cheat.
Maybe.
But to be fair, if you're racing for your life, I don't blame you.
Yeah, the good old dastardly special.
Well, no, because Dastardly's not racing for his life. He's just a prick.
Yep.
Shaggy. I like how Dracula's arm movements were there just because I assume the animator was bored.
Yeah.
That's literally a Racky Grace's gag for Dick Dastardly.
Yeah, just chain someone up to the starting line.
Except they appears to have chained him up to Dracula's podium. So,
Yeah.
can you guess what's gonna happen?
Yeah, Drac's gonna get his legs pulled out from under him, and yeah. Did you also catch that the Bride of Frankenstein's name is Repulsa?
I did not.
Yeah, so...
Why would you do that?
Because she's a dunce.
I guess. How did it tie the fucking gun up? Okay, he's going to shoot himself again. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Why have they got the fucking window open? Oh my god.
I guess for, like, pointing a camera out the window.
Okay, sorry, but literally the overhead shot is just from Racky Races.
Yeah.
They do that all the time when they can't be asked to fuck it. They like, oh, we need like another 2 minutes of footage. That is a fucking skill, Shaggy.
It is. Oh, Scoob.
Vanapyra. Oh, we both had the same thought.
He unfixed it by fixing it.
Oh, you got it right, by the way. They do appear to be the cameramen.
Yeah. It's like you two.
Man, what is this? A fucking Mankind match?
Yeah.
Alternatively, Abyss, because Mankind hasn't wrestled for like 20 years, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and this is the death of Shaggy. Although we could probably settle the age-old argument of does falling damage count against werewolves?
Yeah. It's not a weapon attack, so...
Listen, again, if you want a rules as written your games, that's fine, but it's stupid. They even say in the rule book, when you read the very first page, these rules... It's like fucking Jack Sparrow, they're more like guidelines.
Yeah. Rule 0 is whatever the DM says goes.
Like, I've got a homebrew rule, which I think is incredibly fair. If multiple people in the party have got silvery barbs, you can only use it on once on each action.
Yeah.
So if a silvery barbs goes through and that character's attack still goes through after the silvery barbs reroll, you can't have another player character then use their silvery barbs on it, which I think is more than reasonable.
Yeah.
And it works both ways.
Yeah.
Not that you guys have fought anything with silvery barbs, but if you did, the rules would apply to them too.
And it also helps that Silvery Barbs is a bullshit spell that's like way ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah. I don't think you should be able to have it at what can you get it at level 2, level 3 even?
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell, so like.
Oh, you can have it from the get go.
I've had it pretty much since the get go.
I do have the silver lining of the fact that when I say stuff like this, the group doesn't tend to argue.
Oh, no. Especially for, like, Silvery Barbs in particular, because we know that it's bullshit.
There are some DMs that outright ban Silvery Barbs, and I think that's a bit poo-pooey.
I think the actual fix for Silvery Barbs is make it a level 2 spell.
Well, even then, I still think my optional rule would still come into play. You know?
Yeah, sure. It's still reasonable, yeah.
Because it's an optional rule that if one person in a party has silvery barbs, it can only be used once per action anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Like one person can only use it once per round anyway, so yeah.
Yeah. And it decentivizes a whole party of casters from all taking it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. On the plus side, because it's in a specific book, that's not the book that I'm taking for the one-shot, so I'm not taking it for the one-shot.
Yeah, but the one-shot's level 20. There's much more bullshit things than Silvery Barb's post level 10.
Yeah, like, for instance, the fact that I'm going to be a never-ending stream of balloon animals.
Yeah, but also Power Word Kill exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's going to rim the dragonfly.
Oh boy, what a statement.
Okay, I know he said the witches, but it sounded like bitches.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I literally thought he said the bitches.
Oh, that's really disgusting.
That's gross. He even made a fart sound. Oh, that's gross and a half.
Imagine getting cucked by a fucking imaginary werewolf.
Yeah. Like, this is back when they tried to make nerd into an insult. That's actually a pretty cool design. I like that. I like that Spider-Man.
It's a really cool joke, and I quite like it. However, yeah, I don't think they told this Spider-Man that it was designed to stop a car.
Yeah, Scruffy. He looks like Scruffy. It's great.
Scruffy heard you. Scruffy don't care. Oh no, that's not Scruffy, that's Willy.
Yeah.
There's this really weird fucking interview, and I only bring it up because Jack just said, what a pity, where I'm pretty sure Kevin Nash said the wrong word, where he wins a title belt, and he just goes, oh yeah, I won this. What a pittance.
Oh boy.
Now, what a pittance makes sense, sort of, but what a pity sounds like it would have made even more sense.
Yeah.
Has this monocle traded eye?
Yes.
I think we're going to see in the next shot we see where they fix the issue. No, it's still... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't ever on the other eye.
It's normally on the other eye. I think it's an ambidextrous sprite, so it's normally on the one closest to the camera, except now it's not. So yeah, it's now on the other side for this segment, I guess.
Fuck it, I don't know. It's from the 80s, who cares?
Yeah. The animators obviously didn't.
Hey! It's on the other eye again!
It's back on this one again, yeah.
Now, when researching this and look at some of the bad comments, one of the comments was the animation wasn't good. And it's just like, yeah, but you're watching it in 2015, the review was from. And this is from 1988. You gotta give it some of a pass.
Yeah, you're comparing it to, like, things from the 2010s and things like that, so...
Yeah, so I watched The Owl House the other day. It is much better than... fucking the original Mighty Ducks cartoon. It's like, yeah, no shit, it's 20 years newer.
I watched the new She-Ra. It looks so much better than the old She-Ra.
If anyone ever said that, it would be, like, so funny. Because it's like, no fucking shit, dipweed.
Yeah. Thing that was made more recently looks better than the same thing made 24 years beforehand.
It's like if I watched Transformers 1 and then immediately watched Beast Wars, and it's like, oh my god, Transformers 1 was so much better visually. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Dude, even watching Beast Wars and then watching a Reboot.
I've never actually watched Reboot, is the problem.
Okay, fair enough.
But, Beast Wars. I told the guy I went to watch Transformers 1 with, Beast Wars is my favourite series of Transformers ever. I loved Beast Wars. And he said, oh, maybe I should watch it. And I went, you won't like it. You won't like it because this is a 3D animated show from the mid-90s. You won't like it. You don't like Western cartoons now.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, if I went back and watched Beast Wars, I don't think it would hold up to my memories of it.
Oh yeah, almost certainly. Like part of the charm of that is that it was the only thing that we had back then.
Yeah.
It's like the Cell games. Watching them again is not going to have the same gravitas as watching it when I was 11.
Going back to Beast Wars, though, there was this like time where it's like what Transformers from this were in being Transformers 1 were also in Beast Wars, and I went, well, you had Optimus Prime and Megatron, but otherwise none of these fuckers showed up. Black Arachnia was there, but she came in later, and then also
Sure.
like no, we had shit like Waspinator, and that name alone just made my friend giggle. I'm like, yeah, Waspinator gets it rough until he doesn't.
Yeah.
Apparently the creators fucking hated Waspinator, and to this day I don't know why.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Seems like an unnecessary thing to add to your cartoon. Dracula might as well have looked at the camera and went, women, am I right?
Yeah. Swamp mode with the swamp skis. Oh, okay. So they're treating the swamp monster as a slug.
It could be holy salt.
Oh no, it's actually pepper, not salt. Okay.
Oh, they're going to make him sneeze then, because, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, this would actually make a pretty good sprite for a Black Ooze.
It would, yeah. Including the Scrappy-Doo.
You know what? I don't think anyone would question it.
Yeah.
I've done dumber shit. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when you guys fought a bunch of you guys avoided a bunch of werewolves during Storm King, and all of the icons for the werewolves were just album art from fucking Powerwolf.
Sure.
Like, no one noticed because you're not gonna. It's just fucking. It's just cool looking werewolves.
Whereas for me it was, you're fighting a shark. It's not a real shark, it's an elemental. So we're going to have a Lego shark instead. And, okay, you've got a pet dragon. Well, until you give me a picture, it's going to be a Lego dragon.
Yeah, we've got someone in our current campaign who technically does have a pet. He has a pseudo dragon familiar, but he never fucking uses it. So I haven't set it up.
Yeah.
Man, it feels like Dr. Jekyll / Mr. Hyde. That no one really does anything with that character anymore, do they?
No, unless he's like the only thing in the thing that it is.
Yeah.
He never gets any screen time.
Yeah.
Like, basically, he just got introduced. And this is the first time he's shown up since he got introduced at the starting line.
Yeah. Wow. Have you seen the Muppets do Danny Boy?
I don't think I have.
It's great.
Crud. KRUD TV.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. So for Danny Boy, for the Muppets, they have Beaker, Swedish Chef, and Animal singing it.
Okay.
3 Muppets that can't talk.
Yeah.
That is definitely Jim Cummings doing Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to get ejected, isn't she?
She looks like Vlaakith.
A little bit.
Lightning.
Lightning! Why the fuck is it coming out of a screw?
Well, because it's the same bolt that gave him life. So, there's two different kinds of bolt. It's a bolt that shoots bolts.
I can't disagree with you, I just don't like it, okay?
Yeah.
What was that, champ?
Yep, hoist by his own petard.
That was dumb and unnecessary. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would you slow down? Why?
Dude, Shaggy looks like Bigfoot Homer when he's when he's got his helmet on. I don't know why.
I don't see it, but I won't argue. Like, if you're allowed to just completely avoid the track, then why wouldn't you just immediately reverse and then go over the finish line?
You just circle round the start line and then cross the finish line. The old Mario Kart special.
Yeah, but only on Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
You can also do it on like free crash racing tracks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a design flaw.
Yeah, that is made entirely out of ribbon.
A what now?
A werewolf whammy, apparently.
Oh, and it just means activating your NOS.
Yeah.
We're the witch.
She's got a very youthful and exuberant voice.
But I'm telling you, man, get double teamed by those witches.
Yeah. I like how that's just like a standard statement and piece of advice.
I'm just saying, I don't care. I've admitted to wanting to fuck weirder things.
Yeah. Like Lapras for me.
Well, apparently the fucking Game Freak agrees with you, so... Or at least...
Yeah, apparently, I mean, according to the leak, the feeling is mutual with Lapras.
At least one Game Freak writer agrees with you.
Yeah. I mean, look at those fuck me eyes that Lapras' back sprite gives you.
I'm good. It's one of those things where, like, again, my stance on the smash and pass meter really depends on, one, how publicly I'm speaking, and two, the day of the week.
Yeah, totally. You ask me it again today, and I'll probably give you different answers.
Yeah, same. Okay, so she is meant to be over their head.
Yeah. A goth bimbo.
That's one thing I don't like bimbos. Like, I don't like when a character's only trait is they're a bimbo.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's one of those things where, like, we've admitted to playing COC and TIT a few times.
Yeah.
I don't like bimbofication as a fetish. It's weird at best.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind playing as a bimbo because you can.
That's different. That's
you're
your
in
choice.
Control of most things. Yeah, it's your choice. Like it's one of those. I'll always joke about it, but consent is my kink. Like anything that's consensual is all well and good.
Okay,
but generally, when you're doing bimbofication in those games, it's normally by trickery.
I understand shooting bones from the skeleton. I don't understand shooting fucking shit-ass gas liquid from Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Jekyll and Hyde are doing. Yeah.
I'll give you 6 inches of green, and that's the best I can do for you.
One open hand slap.
Fucking can't just do that out of nowhere, man.
Well, yeah, she said, "I want a rap," and Drax like, "Oh, I'll give you a rap, all right."
It was the 80s. Domestic abuse was legal back then.
Yeah. Your open palm slap.
It's just that entire interview is wild to me because he goes on like, I don't agree with beating women. You shouldn't beat your wife or missus. However, if you need to correct them, one open palm slap. Yep. Again, it's one of those where Sean Connery was born like fucking, I want to say 20s.
Yeah.
Like, from his point of view, you could do whatever the fuck you want to women. In context, he is remarkably conservative.
Yeah, he's remarkably progressive from what he's been raised as.
Yeah, I'm not saying that means what he said was okay. I'm just saying that I don't think he should have been crucified for it, especially seeing as that shit didn't come out till like 2000.
Yeah, baby steps.
Fuck me. And it's just like, oh, we're going to cancel Sean Connery. It's like, he's dead. I don't think he cares.
Yeah. Clipping into each other.
Yeah, that's just 80s animation, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucking hungry now, dickheads. Why Scooby-Doo food always looks so good?
It does, doesn't it?
No. That doesn't work, Draco. Dracula. Oh, shit, and they're both brown. They're going to get shot.
Yeah. Dickhead.
Oh, where's his dick? I'll give it a
rub. They're gonna literally run it off the road.
That's not how engines work. I suppose it is how engines work in cartoons.
Yep.
I do think Vanapyra is a good fucking piss take name, though.
It is, yeah. Because I think Vanna White is the Wheel of Fortune presenter.
Yeah! Oh, is it Googie? I give up. I thought it was Googie, but apparently it might be Googie.
Yes, Googie with 2 G's.
I wonder if they're related to Gurgie.
Maybe.
Take a shot every time she says cut in that sentence.
Apparently, her name is and color scheme is from Googie architecture from the 1940s to 1960s.
I'm not going to fucking argue with you because I didn't know that it was a thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The style is popular amongst motels, coffee houses, and gas stations, which all fit the idea of racing, apparently.
It's certainly American as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all 50s as fuck.
Oh, he's not Mr. Hyde, he's Mr. Snide, because I don't know, I guess Mr. Hyde's copyrighted.
Sneckle and Snide, I guess.
Ah. I love that response to anything.
Yeah, it's not real. Do you think it knows it? Yeah.
It's like Jim Jeffries has got...
It's literal.
Go on, sorry.
It's literal smoke and mirrors.
It's like Jim Jeffries has got a joke about when he went to Iraq to do a comedy gig for them during the Troubles, and he was dressed in blue Kevlar with a blue helmet, while everyone else was dressed in fucking camo fatigues. And it's like, excuse me, why the fuck am I dressed like this? And it's like, oh, well, you see, because that means you're a journalist and or civilian, which means that the enemy shouldn't shoot at you. It's like, does the enemy know that?
Yep.
Because I think there's going to be some sort of sniper out there who goes, cunt in blue looks important. But I love Jim Jeffries. Like, I understand why he's not to everyone's tastes, but I think he's very funny.
Yeah. Toodle-oo.
It's a straight up murder about to occur. Speaking of Land Before Time, that could be a shot from Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Littlefoot. Did that movie scar you as a child? Because it fucking did things to me.
I didn't watch it as a child.
I watched it as a child, and that fucking movie made me cry like a little bitch.
I mean, it would if you had, empathy.
Man. But I also cried during Tarzan. I was not exactly a particularly non-emotional as a child.
Yeah, I mean, I cried during The Lion King.
See, I didn't cry during The Lion King, but I don't know why I didn't.
Maybe you don't respect lion cubs.
Well, I just wasn't particularly sad when Mufasa died, and that's the only part of the film where I could think one might cry.
Yeah, it was literally that. Like,
I think I was more angry than sad. That might have been what it was.
Yeah, it's like a fuck you, Scar.
Yeah.
Because you saw everything going down.
Yeah. I love using wasps as weapons, because this always happens to the bad guys.
I think there's a kobold inventor that uses like a one of the variants has a wasp cannon.
Fuck it, why not? That's goofy. I don't like the fact that the mummy has managed to get back into the race and yet Frankenstein got knocked out.
Yeah.
Hang on, what the fuck was that? Because we just saw his car a moment ago.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh well. At least they're attacking each other still.
Yeah, I guess. Dracula's rich as fuck. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Adjusted for inflation.
That was a fucking noise.
Grrr.
Okay, it generally made me feel uncomfortable watching those bugs again.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently Frankenstein's
they're
back
fencing.
now.
Yeah, they're in a duel. So, yeah, the mummy car is back in the game, but the mummy was also, like, on top of Frankenstein's... Oh, no, it was on top of Boney's, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think the less you think, the better. Super Happy Fun Slide! I've given up keeping track of where his monocle's meant to be. Could you not... You're meant to be smart. Could you not have guessed?
Yeah. Let's leave the wheels behind.
His timing was perfect. You're a dickhead.
Yeah.
Fuck off!
Like, it's the one time that I've agreed with the peanut gallery there.
I'll give them points for not saying literally there.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a really good job with the Shaggy werewolf design, because it does look like Shaggy if he was a werewolf.
It does, yeah.
So it's like a goose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you, man. It's gonna be Dracula.
Oh, an actual Drac and the Beanstalk.
I like how they fucking put like 10 seeds on the ground. They only made one plant.
Yeah. It's an Oogie Boogie Beanstalk.
Yeah, a little bit. Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah.
CK? What can that be?
Or GK.
GK. Godzilla Kong? No. I don't know.
It's going to be really tiny, isn't it?
Could be.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those massive shadows that ends up being really tiny.
Yeah, maybe. Genghis Kong. That has to be racist.
Yeah.
Any Mongolians watching, let us know if you're offended by this.
Yep.
You know what?
Hello to our one Mongolian viewer.
You know what? Genghis Khan, but with the strength and size of King Kong, is a terrifying concept. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
However, this doesn't feel okay to do.
No, but it was the 80s. Like, this is when Hong Kong Phooey was in prime swing.
It was racist to both black people and Asians.
Yes.
Oh, okay, we're lucky. He likes cute Great Dane puppies.
Yeah. Oh, so here's when Scrappy's going to get his time to shine by being even cuter.
Maybe.
Ring your gong.
Kong.
What, so they punch him in the bollocks or something?
Skateboard. Why is that a button?
Why is it a button on both cars?
Yeah. No, I guess that makes sense, because if they already had it as a button on their original car, then maybe they would have requested it as a button on their new car. But still, why the original need?
Yeah. So now it's a pair of skis for Genghis Kong.
What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
Does that mean that Genghis Kong wins? Oh no.
He doesn't seem too happy about this. He's acting how every adult man ever does on roller skates.
Yeah. It's immediately and completely losing balance.
Being like, oh fuck, the kids are watching, fuck, oh no, I'm going over. Unsurprisingly, the protagonist wins.
It reminds me of in Top Gear when they're driving the Reliant Robin. Oh no, I've only just set off and I've rolled it almost immediately. Oh, it is gold now.
Fuck off. Is it gold? It looks more bronze. It's a good thing that she's fundamentally... I get it, it's because she's stupid, but fundamentally it's actually because she's a nice person.
Yeah.
Scooby's like mine.
Yeah, she's a paladunce. Stupid good.
No, she's not, but fine, you could say what you want. It's a free country, technically. For now.
But we don't have freedom of speech.
It depends what you mean by freedom of speech, because, you know...
Yeah, we don't have the freedom of speech that you have in America.
Okay, what can't you say?
You can't say... Well, it's one of those. You can be arrested for saying seditious things.
What does seditious mean in this context?
Basically, for being an anarchist.
Right, okay.
And like talking about treason and all that, and
yeah, but all this goes away when we get rid of the king.
Yeah.
Which is long overdue. So I'm not free to say that. Is that what we're saying?
Not in front of a policeman.
Oh, that's okay. Policemen don't listen to this. If you're a policeman and you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I don't like you.
If you're a policeman and you're listening to this, leave a comment.
It's like, that's okay, Devon. We don't like you either. Justifying my hatred.
But we can't say hatred without a red hat.
See, I do have a red hat. It's just it says "get smoked" on it. I love that hat. It's one of my favourites. I wish it fitted my fat head.
I have a red hat. It's a comic relief tomato hat from like the 90s, and it's full of pin badges.
I thought you were going to say baked beans.
Nah.
I'm sorry, they can fly now. Why didn't they just fly during the fucking race? That's
because then it'd be a
that's a fucking weapon from Worms.
Silly. It is, yeah.
It's such a dumb fucking consistency, but I love every time he says his name, he has to say Shaggy.
Yeah. Shaggy.
What was that about petards and hoisting?
Yes. It's like the second time minimum.
Scrappy looked really big in that shot, and I don't know why. And now he's back to normal. What the fuck?
Yeah, he is. Oh, okay. They're going to end up in Hawaii or whatever.
Nah, they just went back home.
Oh, I just went home, okay.
Is that a pizza or a pie?
It's really easy to forget that Shaggy's, like, rich as fuck.
Well, yeah. Well, it's all that Mystery Inc. money.
Yeah. Or his family.
Like, in one of the newer cartoons, like, he's got PTSD from serving in Vietnam.
Okay.
I shit you not. That might not, but I'm adding some things to that effect, but, like, he gets flashbacks to when he was in the military, and it's like, has Shaggy got PTSD in this? What the fuck? That effect is a blast from the past, isn't it? What the fuck? Did you just see that? Fucking 2 seconds ago when he transformed back, it looked like there was two Shaggys just layered on top of one another.
I didn't see that.
Oh, we're going to have to rewind that when we're finished. That was wild. Look at this shark we borrowed from whatever the fuck you want to call it. Hang on. Dracula's not allowed in running water.
No.
Does the sea not count?
Apparently the sea isn't running. It's not going anywhere. Like, it's rivers are the big one.
Yeah, but, like, what makes rivers, Rick? Wait, no, it's the opposite way around.
Rainfall.
Yeah, no, it's the other way around. Rivers go to seas.
Yeah.
I guess the sea isn't technically running water.
Yeah.
But then, what is waves if not movement?
I know, right?
I appreciate we're putting a lot of specific vampire lore rules into a cartoon that clearly doesn't give a fuck. That was
a good mask.
It's a dick move, Scoob. Fuck off! That's so dumb. But yeah, that was. We saw some Asian names there. I wonder if they got some help with the animation.
Maybe so.
It's very rare to not see like a uniform list of names. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At least in the 80s. Obviously nowadays, like, we've got all sorts of mismashes of cultures working on stuff. But back in the day, especially Hanna-Barbera, they were fucking America born and bred.
Yeah, it was a case of everything would be...
Rick is tired because he just watched an hour-and-a-half movie that wasn't the best thing in the world.
Oh, like, I've seen worse movies.
I didn't say you hadn't. I'm saying it wasn't the best thing we've watched.
It's not even the best Scooby-Doo movie we've watched.
Well, no, we did that like 3 years ago, and it's called The Ghoul School because it's the best. Fuck everyone who says otherwise.
I also enjoyed Scoob, but that's a me problem.
Scoob, is that the live-action thing?
It's the CGI one where everyone wants to fuck Dick Dastardly.
Oh, right, yeah, because you said that he was a gender bend.
He's got a very good disguise as a lady police officer, and then he just reveals that he's Dick Dastardly, and people have confusing feelings about this.
Yeah, you've shown me the picture of what he was dressed as. Yeah, so when Goob hugs Shaggy at the end there after he transforms, it's at 1:29:09, because I just went back, I've gone back and I'm looking. They appear to have really fucked up, because you've got two Shaggies just layered on top of one another while Gooby's hugging him, and I don't know what happened there. I don't know what caused that mistake. I don't know how someone didn't catch it.
Yeah, I sees it now. I've also gone to it.
Yeah, that's bad. It's only granted, it only lasts like a second of animation, blink and you miss it sort of deal, but like I caught it.
Yeah.
It looked very weird and jarring, but anyway, I digress. Animation errors are going to happen in the late 80s. They weren't the strictest art form. Rick, what did you think of The Reluctant Werewolf?
It was fine. Like, I wasn't expecting, I'm going to say a scrappy movie to be a pretty good one.
It's not really a scrappy movie, he's just in it.
Yeah, but it's like you say, it's the last of the scrappy era.
That doesn't make it a scrappy movie, though, does it?
It was a decent way of making, like, a wacky racist plot into a full-length movie.
But I'm pretty sure they did a wacky racist movie, didn't they?
Maybe. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. How about you? What do you think?
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't like it. I remember this film being better than it was, and that's a big contributing factor to why I didn't like it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I've just seen more now in my, as far as cartoon or animated movies are concerned, but it was a bit lackluster. It certainly didn't live up to my memories, and I've now ruined that for myself.
Sure, fair enough. Objectively, it's not great, but, like, if it's the first time you're seeing a lot of these things, then they're all dumb fun.
Yeah, it's very silly. We noticed a few animation errors, which, it's not the biggest make or break, but you really shouldn't notice them.
Yeah.
We're criticising, we are a review format, so, I don't think we're being overly harsh for that sort of thing. But anyway, I think the overall general idea of the plot was fine. It was fine. It wasn't as good as I remembered. It's just, again, I've mentioned it like several times now. I love The Ghoul School as a movie. I think it holds up. When we watched it for the channel, it held up. I'm really disappointed that this one didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? Rick, first and foremost, do you have a favourite moment?
It was probably, and it's kind of like a meta thing that when Frankenstein had his bolt, and just how annoyed you got at me for saying, yes, there are two kinds of bolts here right now.
I can't respond to that without getting angry again, because you know what that type of comment does to me, and you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah. If we can also go with the backup favourite moment of right at the beginning of the movie where they split the car in half, and it informed us of how dumb it was going to be.
It sounds like you just wanted to mention two favourite moments, Rick.
Yeah, we'll go with the second one then. Why not? The splitting the car in half. It's like, okay, we're having an off-brand wacky racist today.
So yeah, Rick wanted to bring up two favourite moments because he couldn't decide. What a cheapskate.
How about you? Do you have a favourite moment?
No, not particularly. If I have to give it, I don't know. It was being weirdly turned on by the witches, I guess.
Sure.
Certainly not something I felt when I first watched this movie. It was a weird experience, and we'll leave it at that. Rick, we can't only talk about the good, let's talk about the bad. Do you have a weakest link for me?
It's going to be a little bit mean-spirited sounding, but Scoob Scooby himself didn't need to be here. Like, I only basically remember anything he did from, like, right at the beginning when he was getting scared and right at the end when he was fucking with Shaggy. And apart from that, he was just in the passenger seat.
I understand where you're coming from. However, you cannot have a Scooby-Doo project without Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Velma.
We found that out. Yes, with Velma.
Well, I didn't find it out. I didn't give that show a view because I could see from the outset it was shit, and then everyone said it was shit, and I'm like, fine, I'm definitely not going to invest in it. I don't know if you touched it at all.
I haven't, no. Yeah. The annoying thing is, it's got some really good voice cast.
Doesn't matter.
In there, but oh well.
Doesn't matter. Like, you can't... There's nothing that infuriates me more than someone having a project they want to do. That's a personal project. This is the thing I want to do. No one's greenlighting it. Oh, fuck, I'm going to dress it up like something people love.
Yeah, like the executive producer is the voice of Velma.
Yeah, so. She created it.
Yeah.
And again, she was... I'll give her credit for never hiding the fact that it was originally a different script and she changed it to try and make it fit this format. But no, fuck you. I've got no issue with Velma being turned into a black woman. I've got no issue with Shaggy being a black guy. I do have issue with a Scooby-Doo adult animation without having Scooby-Doo in it and having the spirit of Scooby-Doo. I love the idea of having a Scooby-Doo geared towards adults. That, by all accounts, is not what Velma was.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Again, I'm not touching it. I'm certainly not touching it now.
But yeah, that's my weakest link. Do you have a weakest link?
There are a few too many inconsistencies with animation.
Okay.
Like, just a few too many. I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that characters got knocked out of the race but just came back in again.
Yeah. It was a little bit narratively disjointed for things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and fuck me, was there a lot of padding?
Yeah.
Like, if you think anime has a lot of padding in their filler arcs, you did not watch the misery that was 1970s to 1990s Western cartoons.
Yeah. Man, fuck me. Jennifer Hale is was one of the Hex girls.
Cool, they're not.
And she returned for Velma as well.
Cool, they're not in this.
Yeah.
Don't know why you're bringing them up.
Yeah, I was going on a wiki dive at the same time.
We're doing the wind down, Rick. It's not the time for Ricky dives. No, I'm telling you off on air. You can't do this.
I'm going to accept my bollocking.
Cool.
With grace and panache.
Give us your MVP and we can roll out.
My MVP is going to be a bit of a weird one. I'm giving it to Brunch, the monocled one of the Hunch Bunch, and that I think he drove the plot the most by doing the most Dick Dastardly shit. Basically.
Okay, I can see your reasoning to an extent.
And I think he was more active than Dracula, even though Dracula was the one that was trying to mastermind everything.
Yeah, I see your reasoning.
But yeah, how about you? Who's going to be your MVP today?
I'm giving my MVP to Dracula, and it's why I was using the wording I was, because the only reason Brunch was doing what he was doing is because Dracula demanded it. The problem with having a villain of the scale of Dracula as your main antagonist is he's not allowed to do Dracula stuff, because unfortunately the reality is he curb stomps almost every other monster.
Yes. It's one of those things where I also didn't know why vampires weren't involved in the monster race.
God, he's running it.
Well, I guess so.
He is the vampire, and he can't have his...
Sure.
Again, I assumed it was his daughter, but it could equally have been his wife, the Vampirella.
Yeah, Vanapyra is under the list of Dracula's wives, although in this she's just kind of depicted as an assistant.
What do you mean list of wives? Do you mean list of wives specifically in this cartoon, or in some other kind of Dracula adaptation?
Under list of wives in Scooby-Doo incarnations. There are 3 of them, and she is one of them.
Okay, sure. I don't feel so bad about making sex jokes about her now.
Yeah. Halloween Hassle at Dracula's Castle and Who's Hiding the Monster.
That's
the other 2 appearances.
That second one sounds like a sex game gone wrong. And on that bombshell, we're going to actually call it here today. We've been recording pre-edit for damn near 3 hours. It's been a long one.
Yes.
It is what it is. We had a lot of news to cover, and we had an hour and a half movie to go. And so Rare Racer is in the books. Perhaps in a future Halloween, we'll tackle the Boo Brothers, just so we can have all 3 of these on our channel at some point. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comment section down below, guys. Let us know how you remember this movie. If it's your first time watching, what are your initial thoughts? How do you feel in general about Scooby-Doo movies? There's all sorts of things you can tell us. What monster would you have added to the race? Like, there's some definitely notable missing suspects. Like Rick mentioned, there is no vampires. There's plenty of vampires you you can use that aren't Dracula, etc., etc. We've also got the comment section on Spotify. We would also appreciate if you liked and subscribed. It helps grow the channel, apparently, not that we'd know. And alternatively, if you're on one of the other audio platforms, you can send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Absolutely. Join us next week for our final offering for Spooky Month this year, our final Scooby-Doo of the year. We won't tell you what it is, but it's after the year 2000.
Yeah. See you later, everybody.
Bye-bye.